Welcome back to The Breakdown, a show about bodybuilding, fitness, and all things Generation Iron. I'm your host, Tiffany Urrea. I'm here with my co-host, Hall of Fame bodybuilder, Sean Ray. And today we have our special guest, fitness personality, controversial bodybuilder, Mac Trucc.
First, she says you're controversial. So
oh yeah, you want to dive in on that, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm known as controversial, but that's because I critique, some people call it criticize, other bodybuilders, and therefore I'm controversial. Where did you get the moniker as a controversial figure?
I just give it to them raw and uncut.
Okay.
And where I come from, well, really how I was brought up is if you're not afraid of nothing, if you're not afraid of anyone, you just give it to them.
Okay.
Well,
I want to lay the foundation for that because a lot of people, especially with the social media, as soon as you say your truth, you become controversial.
Because people don't want to hear the truth.
Right.
People love smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people love to be lied to. Mm-hmm. So because don't nobody want to know that they're really fucking up.
Right.
See, that's where you always get heat because if they fucking up, you tell them like, your words ain't always nice, but you fucking up. How else could you say it?
So let's go back to the beginning because not everybody knows Mac Trucc. I mean, I've been around, like you said, for a hot minute. You're relatively new, a new jack is what I call you guys. And being controversial, which is being outspoken. Take us back to the humble beginnings. How did you get into this industry to begin with so that people know who you are and where you came from?
Well, when I started off doing UNBA, natural bodybuilding.
Okay.
I did that for like 10 years. And I went as high as I can with that. There wasn't no money in that.
Were you doing it for the money?
No, once you become, and you at the top, you want to be paid. So that's what it led up to because I actually started training at 6.
Okay.
So I was 6 years old with a full-blown six-pack. So,
What?
yeah, it's all on my Instagram.
Like you were training like
That's so
bodybuilding?
cute.
I was
you knew
training
what
like
you were doing?
bodybuilding. I always kept balance.
Okay.
What did
You
your
know.
dad introduce you to?
Yeah, my stepdad, he was into all of that.
Oh,
and
that's so cute.
in South Central, we moved to the projects, the Nickerson Gardens. So in South Central, that's the
Nickerson
thing.
Gardens is in LA. I'm just saying, Nickerson Gardens, South Central LA, boys in the hood type situation.
Yeah, it's real rough. Like I witnessed too much at an early age, you know. So the thing is, the pastime is they pulled the weights out and it was pig ironed in. Nothing like you have a 50 pound and this might be really 55.
Okay.
You know, so I just watch my dad, my stepdad, and my uncles, they always battle. So I wait until they leave, I get a broomstick. I put the weight in the middle. It just roll up my body.
Old school.
Yeah, old school. So I got in it that way.
Okay.
And my goal was to outdo my pops.
So who were you looking at? I saw you said you were looking at your dad and you want to surpass him. So who were the role models for you as it related to actually like bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And back then, I thought he was black from all the tan. So he's like, dang, we got a black dude that's buff. And then when I realized he wasn't black was when he did the movies. I'm like, what the fuck is this the same dude?
When you first competed? How old were you? And what
I was in 9th grade because we had bodybuilding classes and weight training in high school.
Were you reading the magazines back then for inspiration
Oh
and
my
motivation?
God, them fucking magazines, man, that was the life. Freaking magazines. And for a long time, I thought you were like 6 feet.
Yeah, of course. It gives you that illusion. When I saw Samir Banu was Mr. Olympia in '83, the Lion of Lebanon. I mean, I had him as a mythical god at 7 feet tall, 600 pounds. And when I went to Gold's Gym for the first time, and I'm looking at these guys.
High level.
Yeah.
So these guys were in the magazines. You got your inspiration. And at some point, you decided, you grew up, you became a man, and you decided to do what?
I was stripping.
Male exotic.
What?
A male exotic dancer. Don't get it twisted. I know all about you
When
women.
you're stripping,
What?
you're called in privately, or you at a club?
No, I did the club thing, traveled.
Okay.
You know, I've been all over the U.S., Africa, Paris.
With a team of people, not
No,
just
just me.
You were the one-man act.
Yeah.
Like, did
What
you
was
have a nickname like
What was
Magic
your
Mike
stripper
or any of
name?
that
Mac
kind of stuff?
Trucc.
The Mac Trucc.
No, wait, okay.
And but before Mac Trucc, I was rated X.
That's what, okay.
It happens
okay.
more than we think in this industry in terms of, I said early in the season that bodybuilding's made up of a lot of misfits. But people come in with these body dysmorphia and eating disorders and lack of confidence. But we also have those like yourself that are they're not inhibited. And
Right.
Kai Green used to dance.
Right.
Rodney St. Cloud was a dancer. So you made a little bit of money doing that, showing off your body. And somewhere along the lines you said, I need to get on a bodybuilding stage.
No, actually, I was after high school. I went to college, so I started taking more body anatomy classes, more bodybuilding classes. Because college, like for some reason, it was about bodybuilding. I always ran track, football, bodybuilding. at the same time. So I would have no breaks, because if I had breaks where I live, I'm gonna continue doing stupid shit.
Okay.
So I always stayed busy, because my parents, they didn't care if you go to school or not. So like gang banging and
It really
selling
kept you
drugs
from
is it was glorified in my family. So that's like getting a diploma. So I was the first one for a couple of decades to actually graduated high school and went to college. So even junior college or whatnot, they have bodybuilding competitions the end of the year. So I get in it, take best of show, best poser, and all this crap.
What was the goal? What was your end goal? Were you trying to be a professional bodybuilder? or
Nah,
just-
even right now, I never wanted to be a professional bodybuilder.
Okay.
I
about
just
now,
liked it
still?
to take my shirt off.
You like that? How do we know about you? Where did you come from? Because some people spend a lifetime trying to win contests, and we can see that play out.
Right.
Somewhere along the line, I don't want to call you insta-famous because you've been here for a minute. Somewhere along the line, you made some strategic moves to align yourself with different people, and most people know that you were aligned with Rich Piana because he had a big following. I think that spread over into who you were as well. I'm not
Right.
saying your identity was founded on that, but you aligned yourself with a guy that was doing some major things.
Well, with Rich, this was, I think, like 2013 or something. I went to the first year of the Anaheim Expo. You know, I'm walking through there, and at that time, I didn't know nothing about enhancements. So I was still just bone dry natural. And at that time, I think I was like 33, 35 or something like that. So I'm walking down the aisle, and I was watching the mutant shit. So I see this dude.
Right.
So I look, I see a dude this fucking wide sideways. So I look, I'm like, damn, that's that dude. So now I'm stalking this fucker. Like, wait a minute, where the fuck is this dude going? So he stopped me. He was like, oh, what's up, brother? Like, man, you competing today? I said, no, because I stopped after doing the natural. I just stopped competing for like 6-7 years. I was like, forget
When you
it.
met him, is that when you guys became instant friends?
Right away. The one thing about Rich, when it comes to fans and all that, he gonna give them the time of the day. But Rich don't like people. That's where people don't understand.
Were you on YouTube?
No.
You weren't on
He was nobody from
Nothing.
nowhere. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's how Rich
I'm
was.
a spectator just going to freaking
okay.
expo because I like to go to expos
Yeah,
or whatever. So I downloaded the on Instagram immediately. He called my phone. He was like, "Oh, what's up, brother? Yo, you want to train at No Holds Goes?" I'm like, "What the fuck is No Holds Goes? What the fuck is this? Like, is this a bar?"
Obviously, in the news lately was the big breakup and the big fight. I was actually there at the Fit Expo when the big fight went down. But there had to be some things leading up to that.
See, what had happened was when I had left 5%, I was telling Rich, like, I'm about to sign with this other company now because you always told me use you as a platform.
Right.
I feel now I'm high enough to where I could tell them what I want to be paid. They willing to pay me what I want to be paid. So I'm going to go there. He was like, he was begging me to stay with his company because he like, you don't want to get with a small company and then people don't get to see, they don't promote you, yada, yada. Ain't no getting washed up in the middle. So I took that chance with that company. I talked to Rich. I said, you know what, Rich? You know what makes sense to me? If I can make you and any other company money, why not I do it for myself? He was like, that makes sense, brother. I said, so I'm gonna start my own. I started telling the peoples the raw and honest truths, like, yeah, I take this. Yeah, I wasn't doing this at this time. Like, that's when he started like pulling back because now I'm getting my own spotlight because I told him I can't grow in your shadow. I got to step out of there.
Sure.
He told me use you as a platform. I climbed as high as I can with you. So I took that chance to step out of his shadow and he started seeing, and I could see the comments on his page. People say, oh, man, you see Mac, you know what I'm saying?
He didn't like
He didn't like that. He act like he liked competition, but he don't want the competition. So I noticed him changing. Then I started finding out all this negative shit he used to be, saying behind my back. I still didn't care about that.
Was it he said, she said stuff though?
Or was it him telling
No,
you the
it
truth
was
that you didn't
concrete
want out
because
there?
I know me and Rich hung together at least 6 days a week. Like, we always was together. So Rich didn't really like people. I don't know why he liked me.
So where did the animosity come where you were ready to fight?
I actually sold him one of my Harleys, right? Built and all that, went back there to do the paperwork. So we do a deal. You know what I'm talking about. So we do a deal. And it was
I don't know what you're talking about.
And it wasn't a good deal.
Yeah.
So it left me in a
just go
jam.
fuck
So when
myself.
I reached out to him, he skipped and went to Florida.
He left California or
Left California and moved to Florida.
Didn't tell you.
Didn't tell me a damn
Didn't
thing.
finish-
So now I'm stuck and I gotta get myself out of the jam, and I still was cool with it. So when he called me, oh brother, what's going on? Like I'm like, listen, Rich, I'm done with all the games and the lies. Like, let's just dead this situation. Oh, why you acting like a little bitch? I said, oh.
Fighting words.
I'm like, okay,
Those are
so you
fighting
tough.
words.
I said, all right, say no more on site. So he kept going. This was all on social media. He all on my page. Oh, Mac Trucc is a keyboard warrior. So now at this time, I keep telling him, all right, don't worry about it on site. Oh, what do you mean on site? You need a gun? So he was like, oh, we could fight in Metroflex. I'll be out there January from the 2nd to the 9th.
So he's scheduling a matchup with you
Yes.
at gym to settle the deal. So now we're at the LA Fit Expo 2017 in January.
Okay, the week of the LA Expo. It's the 2nd. I hit him. I said, it's the 2nd. You want me to meet you at Metroflex or what? He waited. He was like, oh, homie, I'm out. My plane is delayed. So I'm like, oh, his tone is different. Say no more. I cleared my day. We're going to see what's cracking with this shit then, cuz.
Wait a minute. You went from this guy standing in an expo to now you're ready to fight.
Yeah, it doesn't
Because
matter.
I welcomed him into my family. He showed me I was an outsider. So now I have to treat you like an outsider.
Okay.
My kids, everybody, oh, this is Uncle Rich. Still today, my kids don't even know the incident. They don't know what happened. My youngest, Chloe, she still be like, Daddy, Rich can see me. But he want to call me a bitch, calling me all these other names. So now you tough that you in Florida. You come back to California, you in LA. The thing is, with Rich, if he would have never stopped me trying to be this old macho, he wouldn't have never had to get embarrassed like that.
There was nothing that lingered after that expo in terms of.
Now, after that is when I really started poking out because it became fun to me then. So I would make videos, funny stuff, laughter. Like I would do, like how he'd do the vacuum. So I put a big ass pillow under my shirt and I'd be.
Did Rich continue talking about you after the fight?
He didn't say a word until he did an interview with them. He was like, you know, Mac is just so angry with me. I don't know what I did. No, you know exactly what you did. Rich wasn't loyal to anyone. Now, it wasn't really a disloyal thing because my decision is about being a man at the end of the day. It was you showed me I'm an outsider, so now I need to treat you like an outsider.
That kind of stuff happens. What did you think about the whole racial thing? Because I saw you made a video following up on Piana's girlfriend, I think, went out on him with a black guy. And it didn't matter that he went out on him with a guy, but he seemed to be focused on the fact that the guy was black and was dropping the N-word.
Well, when I heard that, I was floored not because, oh, this is Rich Piana, a white man saying this. It's because he have a platform. He have a lot of youth following him. And he have a lot of people that always leave a lot of racist comments on every black YouTuber channel. So it was like he gave them the fuel. So it was more so that. Now, do I think Rich hate black people? No. I always told him all the time, you the blackest white guy I know. You drive with no insurance. You don't have no credit. Your fucking cars have
He's black.
huge rims.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is he racist? Absolutely. But maybe he the type of racist that don't want to see his kind with another kind. He definitely used that word to tear her down and make her feel like shit.
So he was a role model to some degree. Right. And he was abusing that status.
He messed his platform up when he did that for the other cultures.
I think when you go racial, I chimed in because once you bring race into an argument or dispute between a man and a woman, it's really not even about the disagreement. It's showing your true colors.
Exactly.
So when I heard Rich and Hulk Hogan going to the race card, it didn't even matter about the actual
how they did it. Yeah, or what it was for.
It was about going outside to somebody different. Right. Your friend Rich is dead, and at the time he died, you guys were not speaking. What went through your head when Rich died? Did you foreshadow that might be a possibility by the way he was living his life?
I did an interview and I told him, I said, Rich is not going to make it to September.
Why would you predict that Rich wouldn't make it past September?
Well, he was around him a lot,
yeah.
so he knew his life.
Like, I would witness Rich all the time with fucking aunties crushing them bitches up,
so
snorting them
he had a
before
drug problem outside of bodybuilding.
Do you know Rich had a $1,200 a day opium
I don't
addiction?
know.
Is this out? Is this information like for the first time being
No,
spoken
they
of?
already got video of like his ex-wife put the video out, leaked the video with him at the hotel. Me and Rich always argue because I always like try to talk to get off that shit, and Rich would go clean for like a couple of weeks.
Why do you think he was doing the recreational drug? What was he coping? He was doing fine successfully.
Like he didn't like people. That would keep him numb to where he can be friendly with people.
So in like, public, he would have to use something before he got in front of the crowd?
Yeah, even when we go, like if you will see us filming at Gold's Gym, he had knocked down 80 milligrams of oxy.
Doesn't that have sometimes like rock stars? Sometimes people are inhibited, and having that crowd is intimidating.
Yeah.
And so they got to self-medicate, and then it just continues on a certain cycle. And the overdose is inevitable because they're just trying to numb themselves.
That's one reason why I chose bodybuilding over stripping after a while, because I said I can't do bodybuilding and stripping at the same time because all the liquor, all the pills that I was, you know what I'm saying, indulging in.
Do you think at the time, because you predicted in January when the feud happened, based on how he was living, you predicted his demise.
Right.
But there was nothing you could do to like make him stop?
I
When you were
would
friends?
He moved
No one
too
can
far.
stop on his
When we
own.
was friends, I kept a watch on it, but I think that's the main reason why we fell out so bad, because of the drugs. He wasn't himself no more.
Was it getting worse at
Absolutely.
So now he's dead. What's going through your head?
The only thing that that bothers me about him dying is his legacy is shot to shit. He's known as a fucking drug head.
Do you or did you accept Rich's public apology?
He didn't owe me one.
Did he apologize?
If that's what you call it, when he was on RX Muscle, that wasn't.
He didn't call you?
Nah, he
Oh,
knew better.
never-
Like, Rich was doing an interview high as shit. I knew he was
God.
on his last leg. The interview was.
And he's apologizing about you, but he never
But
reached
never
out
called
to
you, never reached out.
Nah.
Oh, okay. There you have it.
There had to be some redeeming value to your friendship. Was there anything you missed?
No, like, even when we were still friends, I knew he was lying to all you people. The bigger by the day, he never hit 300 pounds. You see what I'm saying? He never did no 9 to 12 meals.
Did he get checked up for his health? Because a lot of his videos said, look, get checked up, eat like Hulk Hogan, eat your vitamins, be healthy.
Get checked up.
You didn't see the
No,
doctor?
not until the last part when we've seen video of that.
So, I mean, Rich has his fans. Do they come after you?
Well, you
What's
know,
that like?
I get them from time to time or whatever.
Still?
Yeah, still. It's gonna always be like that.
Some of the fans don't know the inside story, so did they
I'm
come
sure
after you?
it's so
Listen,
vicious.
his fans have went to extreme.
This is an army of
I
fans.
had children's services coming to my house like
No.
4 times, fucking police
No.
and everything. They
Turning
first
you-
off, they started off saying I had my little daughter with me at the expo starting the fight.
Wow.
So I had to show them the footage. Then they stripped my kids, look at their bodies. see
This
if
is
they got
coming from the
bruises.
fans to
From
you?
the fans making all these calls.
No.
Anonymous calls. So they constantly coming out to my house for like 3 months.
So are we living in an age where people got to be careful with the criticism we give because the retaliation from the fans? I mean, we were talking about Hottie and James Flex Lewis, that sometimes the fans, listen, there could be,
They're
it only
crazy.
takes one.
Y'all fucking nuts.
They're calling children's services. What's the stop them going, hey, you know, and showing up at the door? Do we have to have a boundary, do you think?
Yeah,
Or-
we definitely got to have a boundary, but how could we get one? I don't know.
Okay, so next topic, racism in bodybuilding.
Hot topic. Not
Yeah.
next. It's a hot
Next
topic.
and hot. Racism in bodybuilding. Is there systematic racism or are there isolated incidents?
I haven't witnessed none of that, to be honest, because, if I was white, I'd say it was racism because blacks is dominating that
But
sport.
that's not
Right.
racist. It's
Because it's like
Wait,
they get
go-
critiqued so much because their waist is a little wider, but their condition might be a little better. They're like, nope, he got a smaller waist. I'm
That's
going
genetics. That's genetic. I don't think
Yeah,
it has anything to
but-
do with color. But I've promoted shows. I've been backstage at shows. I've commentated shows. I never heard or saw anything where I thought, hey, I'm gonna look at an all-white judging panel. I never thought that, man, I'm dealing with an all-white judging panel like O.J. Simpson. Right? It's like one of
Right.
those things where it didn't enter my head that there was going to be some prejudice or bias. And I
No.
think traveling the world, this is the one safe haven that I think hasn't gotten
Polluted with
stained
racism.
or polluted
Yeah.
because it just never really factored into it for
When
me.
I first got into bodybuilding, and I'm gonna ruffle feathers, but this is just what I heard when getting into it. I remember hearing multiple times that black women will just not place top. Can we look at the bikini Olympians?
Well, let me
how
tell
many,
you, I was
how many
there
black
when the
women are
first-
there?
The first bikini Olympia champion was Sonia Gonzalez, and she was Mexican. There just wasn't a lot of black girls doing bikini, and it is a numbers game.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, if you don't have the numbers in there, it's very hard to rise to the cream of the crop unless you're one of these, like you said, figure girls that just almost on the verge of being bodybuilding girls.
Right.
But I just don't see enough participatory bikini black girls.
Even now?
The numbers are getting better because some of them are starting to participate, but I never saw, and I've seen every Bikini Olympia contest, the numbers don't favor the black girls. And so they don't have the opportunity, I think, to actually get into that top lineup because there's just not enough numbers. Numerically in bodybuilding, there's a lot of black guys bodybuilding. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
ton of
it
them.
stands to reason there's going to be a lot of black finalists, but I haven't heard the conversation from the black girls or the white girls about color. Have you heard color conversations?
Yeah, absolutely. I would hear that for certain shows, obviously they would pick a certain look for the winners. So like, let's say Texas, if you're not blonde hair, blue eyes, you're probably not going to win.
Texas got a lot of different flavors out
Yeah.
Texas.
So that, or let's see. So like the black girls, they would go to like Atlanta or like the down south states to go compete because they would have more chances of winning there.
Wow.
So if there was no racism in the industry, then why would they feel the need to do that? They should feel like they can compete anywhere and have equal chances.
No, listen, racism goes across the
it's
across the
across the
board. I'm
board.
sure it's in our sport. I haven't seen it blatantly, but I've interviewed
That's
a lot
not
of bikini
blatant to
girls.
you?
Well, I mean, you got to be talking about instances that you're aware of. I've never talked to a black girl, and I interview a lot of them, and I'm black, that said I'm going to the South
Are
so
you?
I can find out.
But I think because
I don't know.
you're
I never met a girl that said I've got to go to Atlanta because the judges are still white down there too. They're white in New York. They're white all over the country.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you can go and feel like not knowing who the judging panel is. That I'm going to buy a plane ticket, get a hotel room, and hope that the judging panel favors me, the black athlete, because you don't know the judging panel until you're standing in front of them.
do you see racism in like social media towards you, or just in?
That's the only places that. That's the only places that. I don't experience it in regular life.
Yeah.
Like I can go to any store. I ain't ever had to worry about nobody clenching their purse. You know what I'm saying? Or rolling their window up, locking the door. It's only social media. Why? Because behind a keyboard, you can be exactly whoever you want.
And who you
And
really
I
are.
run across a lot of killers and gangbangers on social media. I'm like, damn.
So Mac, you competed at the Ferrigno. How was that experience for you?
The Ferrigno is ran amazing. It's
I
running
feel
like
that.
it's on like a pro level for us amateurs. They didn't treat us no different from the pros that went on the night before, earlier that day before. Ferrigno is ran really well.
Newsflash, you know the Ferrigno show is no longer. I emceed the very first one 4 years ago, and this year they decided to part ways. As a matter of fact, last month, officially, Chris Maness, the co-partner from Lou Ferrigno and Lou Ferrigno Jr., have gone their own ways. Lou Ferrigno on his Instagram has put out to his followers that the contest is no more. He's moving on to other things. He's concentrating on a TV series.
What?
Chris Maness is now going to create the Legion show. He can't use Legend or Ferrigno. He's putting a show on in May in Long Beach. They bumped heads, and like any successful venture that you have a partner in, it's liable to happen that
Right.
push and pull and push and it's gone.
Dang.
Wow.
What do we have in store for 2018 for you?
2018. Okay, so
Competing again?
of course. But when I do it, I don't do it to be like, oh, I just want to compete to get a trophy. Because I'm still building a legacy. Because when I get old, I'm doing all this for my grandkids. I don't have them now. But I want them to be like, dang, my granddad, because they need to understand that I went from the odds
Against
me.
Yeah.
And, I made a way out, which means if I can do it, a lot of people should be able to.
So how are you monetizing this physique thing?
It's all me. I never had a sponsor pay for nothing. Nothing. You
So
know, like
you have a
I'm-
clothing company, I believe?
Yeah, my clothing, my company, my apparel line, it just paid for itself. So more so I'm into machineries like building motorcycles. I build Harleys all the time. Like right now I'm building two.
So Mac, anybody that's like trying to get into the whole fitness industry, what do you recommend? Do you recommend people taking the competing route or the social media route?
Well, me, I started off with competing.
You started it.
Right.
Did that
But-
give you the platform?
That didn't give no platform. So to be honest, if you want to be known, you got to go to social media.
They didn't have social media back in the day, so
No, they
competing led you to social media.
Yeah, my competing led me to social media. Now, if I knew, if I had the opportunity to have social media, and get you out of social media first, because right now I'm more so social media. I'm constantly I reply probably to everybody that leave a comment. So I'm real active with that. So it's social media first, but at the same time, you got to understand you can't give competing and social media the equal attention. Something's gonna fall behind. So
Yeah.
you got to realize and figure out what it is you want to do. Do you want to compete or do you want to be seen?
Do you have to have a selling point on the back end of your social media to make it profitable? Because you have the followers, right? So there's a little bit of a hook there. What's your clothing line all about?
Well, this shirt right
this
here,
you?
that's
you?
one of my shirts, Hit Iron Not Women. So everything I do is about positivity. So I got the Hit Iron Not Women. You know, like this shirt means a lot to me. I put out 2 different colors. This one, the white with the black and red, the neon, black and green. Because I watched my mom fight dudes off of her. I watched my auntie get the shits beat out of them. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed all of this stuff. And I was too young to be able to help. People know my background. And if I'm against it, maybe more people will be like, realize it. Like, you know what? Nah. The end of the day, my line is about positivity.
Okay.
You know, if a person put my stuff on, they should be able to go out to the club with it, go grocery shopping, and not have to worry about a person saying you have something to say, love it, kill it, fuck that shit and all this stuff. I have kids that look at this stuff.
So people can buy your clothing off your social media lines?
My website.
Your website. What's that called?
TheMacTrucc.com.
All right,
TheMacTrucc.com. Check
Nothing
it
but
out.
positivity.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to tune in next week on GenerationIron.com for the breakdown.